Yeah, that's right. Today we dug into an 8-page police report which not only details how 5 children were left unattended, but also how they were discovered to be living in filth. 48 hours later, this makeshift memorial marks the memory of little Cornelius, the 2-year-old Hartford boy who died after falling from the 3rd-story window of his apartment on Capitol Ave.
The tragedy that we saw here, is an example of the really awful things that can happen when families are struggling to get by.
The boy's mother, 34-year-old Tabitha Frank, charged with 10 counts of risk of injury to a minor, but the circumstances complex. Evidence suggests Frank may have left Cornelius and her 4 other kids alone to Uber drive just to earn money for food and diapers.
Oftentimes, poverty is conflated for neglect, and there are times where families struggle with basic needs.
New details from the police report show officers found conditions inside the apartment abysmal, with no air conditioning, bugs, mold, piles of garbage, and clothes soiled in feces. Moral of the story, if you see or smell something, say something.
We live in a time that everybody kind of stays to themselves. And there's an African proverb that talks about it takes a village to raise a child. And, you don't use that as cliche, but really this notion of if you believe that a child is in danger, dialing 911 is the first, obviously, first option.
You might be surprised to find out Connecticut has no law dictating at what age it's appropriate to leave your kids home alone. The welfare agency Connecticut Voices for Children is advocating at the state level for a child tax credit, expanding access to affordable child care, and holding landlords accountable.
There are a lot of families across the state of Connecticut who are really struggling to get by, put food on the table, try to make sure they have child care for their kids, have a safe, affordable place to live.
DCF Commissioner Vanessa Durantes on changing the child welfare narrative.
It's very important to destigmatize the need to ask for help. In very rare instances, children will be removed from their families. The vast majority of the contact that we have with families is to connect to community-based services.
And it's important to note here that while Frank is charged with multiple counts of risk of injury to a minor, she has not been charged directly in connection to her son's death. She's set to appear in court on August 3rd. We're live here outside the Hartford Police Department. Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.